I'm constantly running into this, and that's the person that thinks that their dog was abused. It's ridiculous. It's like they get a dog from the shelter or something, and the dog's a fearful dog, and they send the incorrect message to the dog, or for whatever reason they have a fearful dog. And instantly they're like, well, the puppy was abused. No, that's not the case. That's not how it works. If it makes you feel better, that's what it's about. It's about the person feeling better, that they're going to help out the abused puppy. And usually the person can't help the dog, and the dog never gets better because they can only think about the animal emotionally. Now, if I have a fucked up dog that comes here, sure, there's like an emotional thing, but I'm logical about it. If the dog is fearful, I don't console it. And most of the time, these people, like, they're going to console the dog. Oh, don't be afraid, and it makes it worse. You know nothing about the dog, okay? And that is one thing that if you buy a pedigree dog, okay, let's talk about guide dogs. That'll make more sense. Guide dogs, you have a male and a female dog. You breed them. They're both stable dogs. You end up with stable puppies, okay? That's what breeding is about. I'm not saying don't go to an animal shelter, but if you go to an animal shelter, you don't know what you're getting. You could get a dog that was abused as a puppy. That's possible. But more than likely, it was just neglected. It's a fact. It's a fact. And this dog Camo that was here about, I don't know, 6 or 7 months ago, something like that, maybe less. But he was dumped off on a dirt road. He was clearly abused. He was just dumped off on a dirt road. And I'm telling you, the dogs bounce back. So if your dog is still fearful, it's probably something that you're doing and you don't know what you're doing. Do you console your frightened dog? Then you're just encouraging that frightened state. You are. You're probably the problem, and that's usually how it is. Most of the time, the person that has the dog that's fearful, that wants to say, oh, the dog was abused, has no idea what they're doing with the dog. They can't make it better. A lot of times they scrap the dog. Oh, the dog was so abused, I had to get rid of it. It's ridiculous. You don't know anything about the dog. You got the dog from an animal shelter. Oh, it has to be it's always the worst case scenario. It is. Usually these people they'll also say that they did not adopt the dog, that they rescued the dog. You did not rescue a dog, just so everybody knows. If you got a dog from an animal shelter, you adopted it just like everybody else. Rescuing a dog, you leave that term for the people that actually are on the street. Rescuing dogs and helping out dogs, it becomes their life. These people, without them, they're rescuing dogs. You're adopting a dog, okay? There's a big difference. You don't know if the dog was abused, so don't even put that in your head. You might just have a dog that is bred poorly, that has no breeding. It's just like indiscriminate. It could have been 5 different male dogs having sex with the bitch. That's just how it is. You don't know what you're going to get. I mean, that's how people are. People are born a certain way. Sure, there's environmental things that can help people, but some people are just born being more stable than others. It's genetics. You think genetics doesn't play a part in the dog that you have? It absolutely does. If you want a dog that is a certain way, you go to a breeder and you pay for it. It's the truth. You want a dog to do a specific task. You want a dog to be a service dog. You get a specific kind of dog. You don't just go. I had somebody contact me. This was last year sometime, that said that they wanted to go to an animal shelter and just pick out a puppy, and they thought that I could just turn any dog into a service dog. Well, that's true, sort of, but not. Man, if you really need a service dog, then you spend some money. You get a dog that you know is really stable and really calm. That's what you do. You don't just go and get any dog from an animal shelter, any puppy, and train it to be a service dog. That's absurd. It's absurd. Can I teach any puppy to pick up keys? Yes, that's true. Can I teach any puppy to open a refrigerator? Yeah, probably. Probably, that is true. But what I can't teach the dog to do is sort of be a certain sort of calm. Do you understand? Some dogs are more calm than others. They're just born that way. And some dogs, you know, there's a spectrum of behaviors. And some dogs are way over here real calm. And then some dogs are way over here that aren't calm at all. And are freaked out. And they do terrible. These dogs do terrible with the owner that wants to console them. Oh, it'll be all right. That's the worst thing for all dogs, I swear to God. It's horrible for all dogs.